What is up guys, this is your boy Vishu from SavageCamp, and in this video we are going to go over an introduction to classes and why we use classes and functions in our programming. When you write an application, there are going to be thousands of lines of code and you cannot just write it in one script, and that is where we have to organize our code in classes and functions. A class is a template of functions that you are going to call over and over again. And I am going to give you a very brief introduction on this now, and we will write some classes and that will help you understand what we are trying to do. So suppose someone tells you to build a hotel menu of various cuisines. So when someone tells you to write a program like that, let us create a menu. So we have let's go with 4 menus. So we have the American, we have the Indian cuisine, we have Italian cuisine, and we have the British one. So now these 4 are going to have 4 different dishes inside them, and the user first selects which cuisine he wants, and then they would select which dish they want from that cuisine. Now this is where classes and functions come into play. This whole program will have 4 classes. The first class would be the American cuisine, the second class would be the Indian cuisine, the third would be that Italian one, and the fourth one would be the British cuisine. Now we have 4 classes. Each of these classes would have a function in it. The function will have whatever the ingredients are in the cuisine. So this is going to be for each of these dishes. And when the user says that, hey, I'm ready for my order. So here is the user. When he says, I want an American cuisine, I want to select the American cuisine, what our code will do is create an object. So this object is something that is going to do all the work for this user. This user is going to select the dishes from this object. Now this object, every time you want to call the American cuisine, every time the user wants to see which dishes are present in the American cuisine, this user is going to call this object. The object is going to go into the class. It will pull up the functions and it would return the name of the dishes and whatever the ingredients are to the user. So the user has to do nothing. The user will only call the object. The object is going to have the 4 functions that are over here, which are the name of dishes and whatever they return. So if the user wants this function, this dish, he is going to call the object. The object is going to do the heavy lifting. It will pass through the class, find all the functions, bring all the functions and give it to the user. Now what does that mean? If you want to bring groceries, now there is a website called as Instacart. I think that is the only one I know, so that is the one that I'm going to use for this example. I've never used this, but it's quite famous. This app is like an object. You go in this and you tell, hey, I want apples from Mariano's, and what this object will do is go into Mariano's, find all the apples, and it will bring it back to you. So an object is going to be the middleman that is going to work with the classes. Now this object is for this class. If the user says I want Indian cuisine, then it would be object 1. This object is specifically for this class. For example, this Instacart is specifically for groceries. If I want to get gym stuff, I'm not going to go to this object because this object is specialized in grocery shopping. It is not specialized in gym equipment. So if I want a gym equipment, I will have to go to a new object. You have to understand, one object will not do everything for every class. One object will do stuff for one class. The other object will do stuff for the other class. If you want the Italian cuisine, you will have to create object 3. And if you want the British cuisine, you are going to create object 4. Whichever dish the user selects, suppose he selects the third dish in the British cuisine, the user has to call object 4. The object 4 is responsible for all the British cuisine. So the object 4 is going to bring all the 4 dishes back to the user. The user is going to say, I want dish 3 which has these ingredients. So the object 4 is going to call this dish and bring it back to the user. So that is how objects and classes work. And the reason I am showing you this is because we are going to use classes, but classes are useless if you don't know how to call them, how to use them. So to call a class, you always need an object. An object is specifically designed for one class. One object, one class. Two objects, two class. The number of classes you have, you will have to create that many objects to call those classes. Remember, if I want to order groceries, I'm going to go to this object. If I want to order gym equipment, I'm not going to go to this object because this is for groceries. So one class, one object. Two classes, two objects. That is how objects and classes work. And I hope this makes some sense. From the end user point of view, the only thing the end user sees is the object. The object does the heavy lifting. It will go bring the groceries. You don't have to worry about that. When I order from Instacart, I don't know which Mariano's they are going to. I don't know who is the rider. I don't know if he's going to come on a bike or a car or he's going to walk. I don't know the delivery guy's name, the delivery guy's gender, the delivery guy's language. None of that concerns me. From the end user, you are only going to talk to the object. The object is this Instacart website. And whatever is in the backend is inside the class that the object handles. I think that is enough for this video. Once we start doing more programs, you will start understanding these classes and objects, and it's really not that difficult. So I will see you guys in the next video.